Hello, everyone. I'm Mark,
I'm Casey.
and let's roll that title.
You're watching the Tesla Life Express. Bite-sized.
Yes, indeed. Tesla Life Express Bite Size is the new one. It's a new one. We're just rolling with it. So hope you're along for the ride. Wanted to talk a little bit today about some guerrilla marketing in advertising. We've talked about advertising before with Tesla. We've discussed
Well, not the silverbacks from the weekly show.
No, not those. But we've talked about Tesla. What could they do in advertising? We've seen airport advertising. We've seen it online through different, through of course X. We've seen it through Google searches. We've seen it a few different areas online. But we were talking about, could they do sports? Could they maybe do something like, something big? We mentioned like the Super Bowl. Obviously, it's big dollars to do that, but there are different ways to market the vehicles to different crowds based on what the crowd is, and it's tough to find out. We talked about maybe they could follow the lead what other auto companies doing, because they've been doing it forever. They must have a good idea as to how it works. Well, we just noticed over the past little while that they've been popping up at some live events, and as mentioned to Casey, it's kind of guerrilla marketing, because of course they're not paying to be at these events. They're just showing up. So they've got, the time of their employees that are involved. And, obviously the vehicles are prepped to be in the best light that they can when they attend these events. But recently they were in the Northeast. They had stopped in New York City, visited a couple of areas, but I do have a video of them driving through Times Square. So let's just roll that for a second here.
There it is.
Let's get it to full screen.
What? Last I saw, this thing was in Tokyo or Shanghai or something.
I bet you it's a different one.
Oh, of course.
But there they are going through Times Square with 3 Cybertrucks. The middle one, of course, towing a Model Y, indicating
like bodyguards. I like that black. Oh,
exactly.
Man. Awesome.
Exactly. So it's and it got sign on the side saying, best-selling car in the world is made in America.
Yeah. I wonder if it said made in Germany on the other one.
Well, they actually have an asterisk on the made in America, and there's a little asterisk thing saying, of course, obviously the vehicles are made at 3 different factories. So
okay.
But very cool. And of course, Times Square, if anyone's ever been there, it's a zoo. There's people everywhere, all from different places. It's a tourist mecca in New York City, and of course, probably a good spot to be rolling through with this basically mobile billboard.
Yeah.
So
it's like ventilation or something in the front of that
train? Yeah, you got to keep it. You can't have it fogged over if it's too cold outside, right? You've got it. Yeah.
Or if it's hot enough that the either the battery conditioning or the cabin overheat might come on. You definitely want it to.
The worst thing is to be out there with all 4 glass covered in humidity.
Yeah. Oh, so it's solar on top too. You see that?
Is it solar panels?
That's solar on top.
Yeah, I guess it could be.
Smart. So I wonder if Tesla Energy solar. That would be sharp. They should just put a Powerwall on the back.
There you go. That would be the ultimate.
I'm in there.
So, wow. Very cool display that they're zipping through town.
Yeah.
And I think I've got another photo of it.
So that looks like to be high impact, low expense. This is something that the legacies sometimes do, but usually they go for high expense and untrackable.
Exactly. So what have I got here?
We don't try to track it. When I sold cars, they would sometimes ask, hey, how did you hear about us? And if it was a certain event, they wanted you to mark it down and tell them how many people said I came from the XYZ campaign. Okay, so this is the one that I last saw here.
So this is a picture, and I don't know my New York architecture, but I'm assuming that this is a museum in New York. Or are you thinking, Casey, that this is from overseas?
Well, now that you mentioned it, if it's in New York, that's not the one I saw, but it was this color combo, the Cybertruck and the that particular red there.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is New York. I'm thinking that is a. In the comments, let us know what museum is this in New York if you recognize it. But I'm thinking it is some sort of museum in New York. And of course, if you have a display like this, you're looking for the most people you can find.
Yes.
If it's a nice day, maybe you're down in Battery Park driving around. But they're just looking for crowds, and it doesn't look like they got a big crowd here. Not as big as Times Square, but certainly they're looking for areas that they can drive through and.
Or maybe this is working. Maybe this isn't Tesla's photo, but somebody else snagged it.
Maybe
it's job.
Possibly, but so that was shown, and then we've got another one that appeared just the other day, and of course this one was in a different city in the Northeast. They decided they were going to Boston, and on this particular day, the Boston Marathon was in town. Was happening, and they obviously have a location. I can share that now. They have a location that's close to the Boston Marathon running route, and they just parked the Cybertruck out front, right on the apron of the store. And again, guerrilla marketing. You're not really paying for any of this. Maybe they had to get a permit, possibly, but having the vehicle just out there blocking traffic physically, foot traffic, allows people to check out the vehicle and say, what is that? Oh, it's in front of a Tesla store. Must be the new Tesla. I've heard about this. Here it is. And it even appears that there's somebody inside of it. So maybe that person is there to answer questions.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a better place to put it right there because it doesn't have any graphics or lettering or anything on it that tells you it's a Tesla if you're uninformed. So
yeah. But this is something. This is kind of a sporting event. It's at the Boston Marathon. I never would have thought of that. That's a sport. But different.
It's very easy to grab.
Yep.
So does it count if the ball goes in the net, or does it count if the guy in the net doesn't?
No, first. The guy just has to cross the tape. That's all that has to happen in this sport. But I thought that was pretty cool that they've thought of a couple of different places where they could get some publicity. And this is the best type of advertising when it comes to crowds, is because you're not really paying for the space. You think about a big Major League Baseball game. Why not be driving around the stadium? Why not have two of these caravans going opposite ways, just kind of circling around? You've got
like blimp.
Yep. You've got baseball, you've got hockey, you've got football. All these places have huge stadiums and huge amounts of people either coming to the game or going away from the game when it's over. But that's another draw. Festivals. You've got music festivals, rock festivals, all sorts of different festivals that are ongoing. And of course, they're planned and timed so you can be there at certain times to promote the vehicle.
They could bring the Model Y in the box with the Cybertruck, and then the little tiny house with the power wall, and they could have the robot from Germany in there serving coffee.
Exactly. He's got all the power he needs in the power wall to keep that coffee maker going. Yeah.
And the Cybertruck power on the 100 kilowatt. 3 kilowatt.
So yeah, all sorts of cool little ideas that could be used. We'll have to see if they blow this out to others, if they expand this idea. or if something else does. But certainly, we here at the Tesla Life will be watching. You can, of course, be up to date at all times by following us on our Twitter feed. That's at the Tesla Life. And of course, if you haven't already here, give us a thumbs up, press that subscribe button. You'll be notified anytime we put a new video out, and it helps us out immensely. We really appreciate it. Another little bit of information is Ford, and what's Ford doing, Casey?
So Ford is attempting some conquest sales. They have put $1,500 on bounty, ransom, price on our heads.
Ransom.
If you just live with somebody who owns a Tesla, you don't have to trade it in or anything. You just have to be a Tesla person, and they will give you a discount on a Mach-E and a Lightning, right?
No, just a Lightning.
Just Lightning, sorry. And that's a really strong deal.
$1,500 off a truck just by being a Tesla owner or saying you're a Tesla owner. I wonder if you have to show your key card or anything. But that's kind of interesting. Actually, Patrick from the show is usually with us all the time. He made the comment that Ford better be careful. You don't want to piss off somebody at Tesla because, of course, you're using their charging network. You might be working with them in the future with maybe FSD or something else. You don't want to be, I guess, too blatant with what you're doing as it regards to Tesla owners.
You don't want him rocking out like this.
So yeah, who knows? You want to keep Elon happy. If you're looking to get some more services from Elon, I'm sure that as FSD becomes more and more mainstream, I think there's going to be a number of automakers, maybe Ford included, that are going to be looking at the possibility of maybe we could use that software for a fee and roll it out to our customers as well. So who knows?
Yeah,
who knows what Jim Farley is thinking?
Right. Yeah. With the improvements we saw in V12 and how much less power it takes now to run that, we may be getting close to the time that we see an FSD license happen, as far as like not license from us, the owners, to Tesla, but from Tesla selling kit to, say, a Ford or a GM or somebody.
Yeah. And like we said about Tesla guerrilla marketing, this is a way of marketing too, right? Like they're just reaching out to a customer base they know are already involved with electric vehicles. They know they probably will be just buying electric in the future because of the stats of people that have bought their first electric car. The vast majority of them stay in the electric realm. They don't go back to gasoline. So it just makes perfect sense.
Yeah, unless they like bought a Nissan Leaf and they needed a Model S long range, they don't typically regress back to gas.
Exactly. Well, with that, I think we will wrap it up for the week. And of course, you can catch us live on Wednesdays when we put a show on at 7 p.m. Eastern every time. So catch us then, and we will be providing you with the information of what's happening in the Tesla Life at that time. Good night, everyone.
Good night.